Cameraman got the money. Pay the man in the hat.
They are just strangers. They may be residents that live in your building, but you didn't know that they had gone through some of the same things that you have gone through.
I was born in Charlottesville, Virginia. Chapel, South Carolina.
Savannah, Georgia. You might know where that at.
Domestic work, cleaning, taking care of children.
I was farming in North Carolina.
Raised corn, cotton, wheat.
Washington was something I had always been looking for. There was a variety of people.
My mother brought us on by the train.
It's 1,000 times different from when I was brought up in Washington.
In Search of Common Grounds, this is about black history.
And I'm 67 years young, okay? Hi, Tina.
How you doing?
Fine, I was downstairs. Washington, Georgia was a very, very small place. And there was a lot of farming work there. Right on down here, this is where I live. Didn't own no house, but you paid rent about $2 a month. Where you gonna get money to buy all that land? They call it a sharecropper. It belongs to a white man, and we farmed and had corn and cotton and wheat and oats and gardens, and we raised our own chickens and turkeys and guineas.
A sharecropper in North Carolina. I farmed 1 year in 1934, and then I gave the farm up. I couldn't stand losing, working hard all summer, and then losing everything I made. And the man I was living with, he cried, hate to see me go. He said, Willie, if you want to come back, write me, let me know. And I ain't been back, not to live, not to farm anymore.
When we started picking cotton for somebody else, not our own cotton, it was about 40 cents a hundred, child. On up to 50, on up to 75 till it got to $1. 100 pounds of cotton. You had to pick 100 pounds of the white stuff.
I used to pick 300 pounds a day. I used to crawl most of the time, picking 2 rows at a time, between 2 rows. That's where I picked. That's right. Had pads on my knees.
Nothing but a whole lot of hard work. I mean, hard work.
And I started to work when I was 7 years old. And they had to stand me up on a box to wash dishes. And from there, you had to bring in the wood at night.
You know, the water came up through a pump, and you'd have to take these tubs and put them under there and get the water. And then you had to heat the water on top of the stove. So I had 3 tubs. You can imagine, 3 tubs. I had wash tub, rinse water, and blue in water. Blue in water was to whiten your clothes. That was the last rinse. And then hang them on your line. My mother, she was considered the A1 cook of the state of Virginia. All the white folks that came around, we want Queenie, they call her Queenie. We want Queenie, we want Queenie. She was well liked. I make some of the similar food that Mother made. And her favorite was this chicken that she made. They killed the chickens at night and soak them overnight. And she had this big iron skillet. She used to stick that in the oven with a stick of butter. And they had the wooden coal stove now. And then she'd beat up an egg. And she'd put the flour and the pepper and salt together. And she'd roll it in that dough. And then she'd place it in that hot butter and put that top on it. And then when it browned on one side, she'd turn it over. Girl, it would melt in your mouth.
10 cents would get you your whole breakfast almost. You got 2 cents worth of flour, and a box of baking powder was 2 cents. You get 2 cents worth of lard. Then we made biscuits like this here.
I never went hungry a day in my life. Mother would make pig feet, cabbage, potatoes, cornbread, spare ribs.
Our church was the first Sunday church, and they used to spread food on the tables. In the month of August, they would have revival meetings at all 4 of the different churches. Revival meeting, we had service every day. The preacher preached day and night, and a lot of young people joined the church in the month of August.
I met Sister Lee in 1933, and I met her on my own without my mother knowing anything about it. In my coding days, we used to walk to church every night, come back to wait on the farm during the day, at night, clean up, cut out for the church. Wedding was sweet, been pleasant ever since. After the coding is over, go home and relax.
I was telling my sister about it. You know, I say, me and my husband don't get along good together. I say, one of these days I'm going to leave him. She said, well, anytime you feel like, she said, I'm not telling you to leave him and I'm not telling you to stay with him. She said, only thing I'm telling you, if you want to come to Washington, D.C., you can come and I will try to help you with your children and help you get stationary there where you can find yourself a job. And that's just what she did.
I came to D.C. President Roosevelt, he's coming in, Cuba was going out, and I've been here ever since.
Washington was something new for me, something I had always been looking for. I didn't have to wash in tubs, and I had bright lights because I had lamps. And that's what D.C. was all about for me, bright lights, big city.
I was brought up in Southwest Washington. I was on this colored family. They had Jews, Italians, Greeks, and German people. The Germans lived right all in the neighborhood.
We lived in the Southeast, and people over there in Costa were very friendly people. But one thing about it, if you come from across the bridge and come over there and start anything, they would run you back over across the bridge. They didn't allow no foolishness to come over there and start nothing. Nobody come over there and start anything.
I came here in 1955 by train, and I had $12 in my pocket. And looked in the paper, I was at the Union Station. I looked in the paper and saw a room for $12. And so I got that room, called the lady and she let me have the room, and then I started scouting the papers out. But I didn't realize
what kind of work I was doing, domestic work. You know, or cleaning, taking care of children, and my wrestling always said, spoiling children. I really had a good time when I worked for Applestein, and I raised all the children. We had a little boy named William. When the first time he got ready to go to school, couldn't nobody get him out of the house but me. I said, come and get William and take him to the bus. I take him downstairs. Come on here, William, let's go downstairs. William, come on, go follow me right downstairs. And then sometime he cussed me out.
I went to work for a lady doing some days work one day, and she asked me, she said, do you steal? And I said, no. I said, if I did, I wouldn't be here. And I said, the best thing you do is get somebody else to work for you.
This lady that I was working for, she was a real rich woman, lived out there in Bethesda. And she sent me, called the people at first and told them she was sending me for me to pick out a dress and a hat at Julius Gulfbringer's. That's where she bought her clothes from. And they said that I couldn't, try the hat on or either the dress.
Julius Garfinkel, if a black person came in there to shop, they would ask you, did your madam send you? Because they felt like you didn't have the knowledge or the ability or knew what you want to come in there to buy. So you was coming there to get something for whoever you was working for.
Those things went on. I guess you were just used to that, so it didn't bother you. It never really bothered me until I got older.
I'm going to say something that is very painful for me to say, but I'm going to try to share some of it anyway. When I went in the Army, now, it was in the early 40s. We couldn't get off the troop train. Now, listen to this. We going over to fight for our country. You understand me? We couldn't get off the troop train to go and get something to eat. The Red Cross had to bring it to the window and pass it through the window. I know, I was sitting on there, and the captain came and told us, say, you know the people in Tennessee do not like black people. Now, if you get off the train, you're getting off when you're at risk. And we going over to die for them that they might live happy, where they could live happy and raise their kids.
My husband used to tell me all of that. You better not get off of them trains and things, you know, because that's right. Told you not to get off. If you got off, it was at your own risk. It was your own risk.
I thank God that he didn't give me no hate in my heart for nobody. I love everybody. So even though I came through this, I feel like it made me a better man, a better person. It made me love God more because God was all we had.
And I only know what I know, that the passing years will show that you kept our love so young and new. And time after time, I'm gonna keep telling myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you.
Being in this project is a joy to me because I'm learning things that's really inside of me.
When you say in search of common grounds, the common ground is your life, what you have learned in your life, what you're learning now.
I know one thing, I can just enjoy life. That's what it's all about, trying to live.